We're going to talk about the tour operator, getting to and from Cusco, food and lodging in Cusco, hiring the porters, and tipping the porters and the guides. If you are ready, grab your notebook, your calculator, and let's dive right into it. So first of all, let's talk about the price of the tour operator. This is going to be one of the biggest expenses if you want to hike the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. And this price is going to be impacted by what type of tour operator or travel agency you're going with. In our case, we paid $695 per person with the travel agency that we went with. Now, this price is going to be impacted by what type of tour operator you are going with. And the thumb rule basically is if the company is local to Peru, then it's going to be cheaper compared to a company that's based in the USA or Europe. Now, this $695, the company asked us to deposit $300, and then the rest will be paid in cash once we arrive to Cusco. The deposit you're going to make is not going to be refundable and is not going to be transferable to another person, and the reason is the company is going to use that money in order to get a permit to hike the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. And if you want to learn more about getting a permit, you can check this video here. Alright, the second expense here is getting to and from Cusco, and this is going to be based on where you are traveling from. So for example, if you are traveling from the United States, this price can range from $800 up to $1,400. The cost of your flight is going to be basically one of the biggest expenses in your trip. And if you want to learn about how to find cheap flights internationally, you would want to check the link in the description box. The third expense is lodging and eating in Cusco. Now, we're not talking about eating during the 4 days of the Inca Trail because those are going to be covered by the tour operator or the travel agency. You, however, need to account for probably 2 days prior to your trek and maybe 2 days after your trek. Now, the 2 days before your trek are mandatory just to kind of adjust to the high altitude and avoid high altitude sickness, but then after the trek, it's up to you. Now, for the lodging and food in Cusco, we accounted for 2 days before the trek and 2 days after. And between lodging and food, you're gonna be looking for probably less than $500. Generally speaking, Airbnbs and guest houses are cheaper than hotels. And we personally went with the guest house route, and I'm going to link some information about the place where we stayed. The fourth expense in the list here is hiring the porters, and this is going to be a little bit tricky because prices are different from one company to another, but I'm going to walk you through the options that the company we went with offered us. So basically, you do have an option to either hire a half porter or a full porter. A half porter is going to carry 8 kilograms of your personal items. That's about 18 pounds for $95. The full porter, however, is going to carry 16 kilograms, about 36 pounds for $190, and it can be shared by 2 people. Now, the last expense here is tipping the porters, and I don't remember exactly how much money we paid for tipping because we pretty much just gave whatever we had left in the local currency as well as in dollars, but I'm going to give you a breakdown. So basically, there are 3 buckets. The first one is going to be the cook, the assistant cook, and the porters. The second bucket is going to be the assistant guide, and then the third bucket is going to be for the guide. And as you can see here, the SAS Travel recommends that each person in the group contributes between 50 and 60 soles. That's about $19 to $23 to the first bucket that's distributed between the cook, the assistant cook, the general assistants, and the porters. Now, 15 to 20 soles, that's $5.8 to $7.7 from each person in the group for the assistant guide, and about 18 to 28 soles, that's $7 to $10.8 for the principal guide. So to make it easy and sum it up, this is going to be about $23 for the cook, assistant cook, and the porters, $7 for the assistant guides, and $10 for the principal guide, which is a total of about $40 to $50. To sum it all up, we talked about the tour operator price, that's $695. We talked about the price of getting to and from Cusco of about $1,000, the price of food and lodging before the trek and after the trek about $500, tipping the porters $50, and hiring the porters $95. So we are looking for a total of $2,340. Again, this is based on our own very experience. There are going to be a lot of variation there, but this is a rough estimate just to kind of understand what you are getting yourself into. If you have any questions, let us know in a comment and we will be very happy to help you with your next adventure. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to our channel to receive notifications every time we have a new video out. With that, your trekking pals Habiba and Alex, and we'll see you guys in another adventure.